In this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast, it is Rookie Watch Volume 2. I think we're going to do this every day. I think so, man. I think we're going to cover these rookies every day. But in this episode, we're going to talk about the monster matchup between the first two picks of the 2024 NBA Draft, Zaccharie Risacher and Alex Sarr. We'll also talk about Reed Sheppard. The minutes are declining. Zach Edey. And then in the last segment, we're going to talk about our Rookie of the Night. Stay tuned. Big shout out to each and every person that has made the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast your first listen of the day. I'm your host, Rafael Barlowe, along with my brother, James Barlowe. And like I said, in this episode, we are doing Rookie Watch Volume 2. There were 11 games last night, and I want to say somewhere between 20 rookies that saw a little bit of action, and we're going to share our thoughts on just a few of them. And we can't cover all 18 because there wasn't really a whole lot to talk about. But before we get into this episode, I want to let you know that it is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the bell so you can be notified because we're coming at you every single day, at least 5 days a week. And we're going to cover the rookies every night. And of course, we're going to talk about the NBA draft with college basketball coming up around the corner. Let's start off with two rookies who did not play college basketball last season. Zaccharie Risacher, the number one pick for the Atlanta Hawks, matched up against his fellow Frenchman, Alex Sarr, the number two pick for the Washington Wizards, who refused to work out for the Atlanta Hawks. James is shaking his head. Like, why are you shaking your head, man?
I'm gonna touch on that, man. Let's get right to it.
All right. Well, it's not a whole lot to get into. The two top picks. I mean, it definitely wasn't Shaq versus Alonzo. I mean, it was kind of brutal to watch. They combined to shoot 4 of 19 from the floor. They combined for 9 fouls. Risacher was 1 of 8, while Sarr was 3 for 11. Let's start with Risacher, the number one pick in the draft. Maybe he would not have went number one if Alex Sarr decided to go to Atlanta. I don't know. The crowd was definitely booing Sarr.
Booing him. I can't remember a rookie getting booed on the road. Like, I can't remember that happening.
Early in his career.
Like, that's a first. And, you know, for all the flack that Atlanta fans get for being a transplant city and they don't care and they only show up when LeBron and the other stars show up. They came to boo Alex Sarr. They booed him the first time he touched the ball. They booed him all night. I guess shout out to Hawks fans for beating the allegations, but Sarr, man, I'll start with Sarr.
All right.
So he took 11 shots. 5 of them were threes. I still don't understand why half his shots are 3-pointers. He had a nice turnaround jumper. He caught somebody on a switch. That looked good.
It was Risacher.
That was Risacher? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he caught that on the switch. He made a nice pass to Kuzma. I'm not going to be all negative. So mix it in. Made a nice play and pick and roll to Kuzma. He blocked Jalen Johnson at the rim. Hey, if you trying to block Jalen Johnson's shot at the rim, shout out to you. I like Sarr on defense. He made some plays really good on defense. I don't understand him taking all the 3-pointers. Like I said in the last episode, I think some of these threes are like with 14 seconds on the shot clock. These aren't like grenades. I think he needs to get into some DHO action. I will say this, Rob. I don't understand, and I still don't understand why he didn't want to work out in Atlanta, right? You see how easy the game is for guys when you play with Trae Young. That is free points. Clint Capella is long in the tooth. He's not nearly the athlete Sarr is. Again, they'd had to move some pieces out the way. I get it, fine. But like to me, as a big, I want the easiest job possible. And Trae Young was going to make his job extremely easy. You can't sit here and tell. Trae Young got locked up by Koulibaly last night, right? And I think he still finished with like 13 assists. Like an off night for Trae Young does not mean an off night for you because he is going to find you and feed you. He's throwing no-look lobs, man. Like, who throws no-look lobs? He threw like 2 of them last night. I don't understand not wanting to work out in Atlanta.
Well, I think the fit with Risacher is a little bit better as long as they still had Capella. I think Jalen Johnson is best at the 4.
Yeah.
I like Okongwu. So I think it would have been an interesting fit. I mean, I think they both ended up in the ideal situation for them. Now, if they didn't have that crowded front line, then yeah, Sarr to Atlanta would have been, he definitely wouldn't have been shooting as many threes, I don't think. But I want to go to the first play of the game. I thought you were going to touch on this. The very first play of the game, I don't know how it happened, but it was a mix-up where Trae Young was guarding Alex Sarr. And it was the weakest, most non-physical post-up on both sides. Sarr wasn't aggressive to duck in and post up, and Trae didn't want, to be posted up. So Trae just went for the steal. Sarr barely put a body on him. Trae missed the steal. Sarr ended up getting a dunk. That's probably the easiest basket that he's had all season long. I was just disappointed in him, man. First of all, he missed 2 chippies at the rim.
He did.
I'm like, go up strong. Like, he does not go up strong. He goes up kind of weak. And then he had the turnaround jumper over Risacher. It was kind of like LaMarcus Aldridge-like in a sense, where you saw him post up, wasn't strong enough to like get to a sweet spot where he had like an easy left-hand hook, but he just showed that he can shoot the turnaround. And with his size and his length, I mean,
I think he should be taking that shot more often.
I agree 100%. But I mean, he just took so many threes. So I pulled up some numbers for the season, and I'll mention it is early. So for anyone that's saying that I'm bringing up these stats and it's early, I know it's early, but he is 3 of 15 on catch and shoot jumpers. He is 1 of 5 on layups this season, and he is only 4 for 10 at the rim. I do not get the logic behind a guy that did not come into, well, I mean, I guess Ryan Dunn is the exception, but did not come into the league with the reputation as a shooter, but is shooting 45, 50% of his shots are threes. Alex Sarr. I mean, he doesn't have a Trae Young to set him up for those easy lobs, but I do think that he needs to maybe try to get in the mid-post, shoot the mid-post jumper or be aggressive, face up. He's not even sprinting the lane in transition. He's just hunting threes, and I do not like that.
And like I said, the threes are contested with like 14, 15 on the clock. Like, you're athletic, put the ball on the ground, go to the basket. Even if they're gonna, like, I wouldn't contest his threes because he hasn't proven to me that he can shoot. But they are contesting. And again, I understand late bomb, I get it. But like, he's shooting them like he's a stretch 4, like Larry Markkinen or something. Like, nah, man, you're an athlete. Go be an athlete. There aren't enough opportunities on offense where we see that you're an athlete. Now, in defense, he looks athletic. Again, yeah. I'm not going to hate on his defense, right? That's crazy. But on offense, he doesn't pop as an athlete like he should. And I'm not saying he's not athletic. He doesn't put himself in position. Maybe it's the team. Again, he's young, but he's just not in position to make athletic plays on offense.
Do you think he'll look better when Malcolm Brogdon returns? Because right now, I think some of his issues are the point guard play. Like, Bub was starting at the point, and I know he has more turnovers than assists. And so maybe it's a combination of both.
I'm not going to blame the point guard for him shooting threes.
Well, I mean, if you have, like you said, if he were with Trae Young, not saying the Wizards have a Trae Young, but Trae Young would make some of his shots easier. Someone that can get in the paint, draw to, and find him. Because
this is the spot he wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, it's 3 games, it's whatever, but like, this is what you sign up for. Like, I'm not saying it's shaky point guard play, but you don't have elite point guard play.
Yeah.
So this is what you sign up for.
You make a case and say it could be the worst point guard play in the league. Let's talk about Risacher. 1 of 8 from the floor. I think Zachary's situation is different. He is getting good looks. He's just missing them. Like, the first couple shots were wide open, not necessarily wide open, but just enough to where you should be able to knock that shot down. He was 1 of 8 from the floor. He had one drive where he put the ball on the floor, went to his left, didn't go up strong. But the play that stood out to me, and I know you saw this play, where it just showed what my concern with him was the lack of offensive creativity.
Talking about when Kyshawn George locked him up.
Locked him up. And so I think Risacher has to be on the floor with Trae Young at all times. Like Trae Young is going to make his job easier. If Trae's not on the floor and he has to create, we're going to see some problems. So there was a play, caught the ball, was on the left side, and he put the ball on the floor. The scouting report is already out. If he drives, if it's not a straight line drive, he's going to spin. Kyshawn George sat on the spin move, and then he was just stuck. He had the ball, both feet in the paint, and he was trying to like shot fake, spin, reverse spin.
All of that
he had nothing. And then he ended up shooting a like reverse pivot air ball after multiple pump fakes. And for me, that was I wouldn't say it was alarming, but I'm not surprised because my knock on him was he just lacked offensive creativity. Now, I think catch and shoot situations, getting him to, the ball on the move, he's going to be fine. But if he has to create his own offense, it's going to be a struggle. So I have a couple stats for him. He is 5 for 15 on layups this season. He's 6 for 16 at the rim, and one of those was a dunk. But he's also only 3 of 12 on catch and shoot threes. So Zaccharie Risacher is kind of struggling.
Yeah, and we saw he had that spot last season in France where he had just a terrible stretch of games where I think he was shooting like 25% from 3, and he wasn't playing well. I mean, it's early, it happens, but like the stuff that we talked about or you mentioned before, the things that you say, well, these were concerns or this is what I questioned, like they're obviously showing their face early in the season. So, but it's early for him too.
All right. When we return, we're going to talk about Reed Sheppard, Stephon Castle, Donovan Clingan, Zach Edey, a little bit of Ron Holland. But before we get into the second segment, I want to talk to you about Game Time. Game Time is my favorite app when it comes to purchasing tickets. But it's not just for tickets to sporting events. It's concerts, comedy, theaters, and more. What I love about the app is that they have all-in pricing. Just toggle the feature on the app and it will show you the total up front, so you don't get a surprise fee at checkout. You'll also get a panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy. And Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference because they have the lowest price guarantee. And your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account with the redeem code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. All right, second segment. I want to start off with the number 3 pick, Reed Sheppard. Udoka has completely, in my opinion, lost confidence in Reed Sheppard. Not only is he not playing him, he only played 3 minutes last night. His minutes have gone down each game. He played 16 minutes versus Charlotte, 13 minutes versus Memphis. They played the Spurs back-to-back, 6 minutes on the first game, 3 minutes yesterday. And Fred VanVleet played 41 minutes.
I may not here for all of that, man. I told you, it. I is trying to win. I am not trying to develop. I probably got an app on his phone in his pocket giving him live updates of the Celtics scores, man. Like, he's locked in on this Rockets team, and I just don't think that Reed is gonna play a lot. And I think Reed can play, still like him, but I'm not surprised at all.
It was the 4th game of the season. The game didn't go into overtime. And the starting backcourt, VanVleet and Jalen Green, played 41 and 38 minutes.
Well,
Come on, Ime.
Let me say something about this. The West is extremely competitive, and I don't think that you can punt games or there's no developmental minutes on these teams that are trying to make the playoffs. And it's not just Ime. I mean, look at the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are in like an 8-man rotation last night. And I know the game went into overtime, but like they're going to have to play their stars, or at least their starting 5. They have to play 37, 38 minutes a night because their bench isn't very good. So it's not just Ime. I just think it's those teams, they have to play guys a lot. I mean, even the Laker game last night, LeBron played a lot. They didn't go to their bench either. So Every game is important in the West.
But Dalton Knecht is still playing more minutes. Ryan Dunn is in the same situation. He played 15. Knecht played 11 minutes last night. Reed played 3 against the San Antonio Spurs.
Hey, man, you got to bring it up, but I ain't, man, not me.
All right, let's talk about Stephon Castle.
Real quick, man. My boy Castle, look, I know he makes plays, pick and roll plays, jump shots still a work in progress. I will say this, he does need to do a better job taking care of the ball because he does turn the ball over a lot. But I think he led the team in assists again last night in 17 minutes. I mean, he's a player, Greg.
Yeah, he was tied with Wemby in assists. Chris Paul only had 3 assists, but Chris Paul scored. He was only averaging 3 points coming into the game. Castle had 5 assists in 18 minutes. All right, someone had mentioned that they want to hear the Brandon Roy argument every episode. Look, Stephon Castle is not as smooth as Brandon Roy, man. The dude gets these turnovers playing bully ball.
He's 19, man. Brandon Roy had a job when he was 19, Ralph.
Man.
He is a family man. Shout out to Brandon Roy. But he wasn't working. He wasn't even hooping, I don't think.
Castle, his game is not visually appealing to me.
All right, man.
I mean, you see the flashes of the crossover, but when he drives to the rim, he's chesting up.
Getting fouled.
He's getting fouled, but there were a couple plays where he couldn't really beat his man off the dribble, so he just turned it into bully ball. But he did make a pull-up and drop coverage. I thought that was good. Steven Adams, who I think it was like his first game in like 346 days, was playing drop coverage. He did make that, and then he made I wouldn't say it was clutch, but it was an important basket in the game. He had a drive around Dylan Brooks. I mean, I think he's
that was clutch. Come on, man. You know Dylan Brooks.
It was still like it wasn't like in the last 2 minutes, but it was a big play with the momentum.
Name all these rookies that we're talking about. Name one of them that can make that play, that has made that play.
Yeah, no, he's in a good situation. He is playing. I still think once Trey Jones comes back, or is it I get the Jones brothers mixed up. Once Trey Jones comes back, he should be playing minutes. Hopefully his minutes don't dip when Jones comes back, but you know, he's been productive and he's getting an opportunity, which is something that a lot of guys aren't getting. Ron Holland, we'll talk about Ron, only played 14 minutes. He had 4 fouls, but overall I thought Ron played, you know, he just
it was Ron, man. Transition bucket, turbo in the half court. I don't think he made a jump shot.
No,
but it's Ron, you know. Yep. Hey, he's making most of his minutes, man.
3 of 6 from the floor. And then let's talk about Donovan Clingan. Played 12 minutes, only 2 points. He had 6 rebounds and a block. Clingan is productive in the minutes that he plays. But DeAndre Ayton had 20 points and was 7-11 from the floor. When Ayton is playing well like that, I don't know how many minutes that Clingan is going to get. Someone had mentioned in the comments, first of all, we drop an episode every day. So sometimes what we missed in an episode, we covered it 2 episodes, 3 episodes prior. Someone had mentioned we don't watch Blazers games and we're not talking about Robert Williams. I'm like, we covered Robert Williams. Like, I do want to see what happens with Donovan Clingan when Robert Williams comes back, because I can't see a reason for the Blazers to want Robert Williams on their roster long term. I think you got to showcase him to trade him. And I wonder how much is that going to impact Donovan Clingan. But Clingan has been productive. I think he needs more minutes. I still don't know
where they're going to come from.
I don't know where they're going to come from. And I don't know, like, a team that is a good fit for DeAndre Ayton. Ayton can hoop. He could play. I don't want to say it's all empty calories because he was on a team that went to the NBA Finals. It's just something I can't necessarily put my finger on DeAndre.
Man, he calls himself dominating and he shoots a lot of jumpers, man, and he doesn't shoot a lot of free. I mean, you just can't call yourself dominating and I'm going to sound like Shaq and not be putting up 25, 15. So maybe it's that. I don't know.
All right, real quick, Zach Edey, he only played 14 minutes.
I told you, Jay Huff. And when Triple J came back, those minutes were going to go down. I told you,
And then Grizzlies fans have been going off on the coach. Taylor Jenkins about not playing Edey enough minutes. Here's my beef with Edey.
Is it Grizzlies fans or is it Zach Edey fans?
I think it's Grizzlies fans.
Okay.
Here's my beef with Zach Edey. He took 2 threes. Like, why are you shooting?
Why are you taking threes, man?
Vooch was looking at him like, yeah, big fella, keep shooting these threes because that means I'm not fighting with your big self.
That's one less elbow in the back that I'm gonna catch.
Right. Edey has drawn 27 fouls. Like, he is drawing fouls. Now, he's not making his free throws, but Zach, you're bailing the defense out when you're shooting threes. Like, his first shot was a 3. He shot a 3 in transition. Like, that's crazy.
Hey man, what are we doing? Why? But you know what? Not even Zach Edey. He's not on the rundown. Let's shout out Jaylen Wells, man. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 17 minutes. He didn't have this best shooting night, but he continues to like do more than shoot. Like, he gets to the basket, he cuts, he makes plays. I think the scouting report personally right now is let's see if Lonzo Ball can move, and apparently that's what he felt like. So he went by Lonzo, and he had a nice backdoor play where he hit Scottie Pippen Jr. I said, and I mentioned before, it's gonna be hard not to play him. Yeah. And even when those guys, Vince Williams, when Gigi comes back, I don't know their timelines, and if he continues to shoot the ball well, I know he's kind of struggling overall from the field, but he can shoot. I want to see what that looks like. So I wanted to give him more airtime than Edey, because Edey was just, he was just running up and down the court, and he really didn't even play much in the second half.
Yeah, he played more minutes. Wells is averaging 20 minutes per game. 20 minutes per game for the guy that was the 39th pick in the draft. All right, when we return, we're going to dive a little bit more into the rookie performances. I'm going to quiz James and see if he knows who is leading all rookies in scoring as of today.
I'm ready.
And then we're going to have our rookie of the night. All right, last segment. All right, let's just talk about a few guys real quick. Cody Williams, 16 minutes, was 1 of 5 from the floor. I was at the game. The shot that he made was a tip in. I do think Cody is going to see more minutes now because of what happened with Taylor Hendricks.
I think Filipowski is going to see more minutes.
You think so? Well, I think John Collins is going to start, but yes. Filipowski could see more minutes. But, thoughts and prayers to Taylor Hendricks. I was at the game. Thankfully, I didn't see what happened. I went out to the concession stand, and it just got real quiet. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear music playing. And then I was talking to a friend of mine that I ran into out in the concourse. She said, oh, somebody got hurt. They're bringing out a stretcher. And then I went back to my seat, and it was the scout that was sitting next to me from another team. And I said, what happened? He says, oh, Taylor Hendricks just blew out his knee and his ankle. I tried to avoid it. Of course, you're getting text messages like, are you at the game? Did you see that? And then I just accidentally saw it on Facebook this morning. I was trying to avoid it, but thoughts and prayers out to Taylor Hendricks. But Cody, 1 of 5 from the floor. Let's talk about Matas Buzelis. His minutes are also shrinking. He only played 3 minutes against the Grizzlies. He looks like he is falling out of favor in Chicago. My man Kel'el Ware can't get on the floor. He's only played 6 minutes all season.
And he had a game where he missed for personal reasons. But I don't know what Miami's doing, man. I don't really. They're like 29th in pace. I don't know what Miami's doing.
I don't either. But, right now they're 2-1. So if they were 0-3, maybe. All right, let's talk about Kyshawn George. 22 minutes, had 3 points. All of his shots were threes. He's getting an opportunity.
Yeah, he's going to play 20 minutes tonight. Again, we already highlighted his great defense on Risacher. Yep. I think he's going to be fine long-term. And, like I said, the minutes are always going to be there. The Wiz kids, man, they're going to have every opportunity to fail, get it right, fail again. So they're in a different situation. I know that, or I wonder if guys like Matas is like, man, I wish I was getting these 20 minutes tonight because, look at their opportunity. I got Zach LaVine in front of me. This dude doesn't miss. So
yeah,
it's all about opportunity in the NBA.
Well, he's probably hoping I need Zach to continue to get hot, and maybe somebody bites the bullet. And
Man, listen to me. Let me give me 10 seconds, Rob. Denver Nuggets. You trade Michael Porter Jr., whatever piece that you need to make that money work for Zach LaVine, because Jamal Murray's taking a step back. It looks like I don't know what's going on, but you need somebody that can knock down shots at a high clip and create his own offense. Zach is healthy. Right? He is getting major buckets. I think that solves that problem. They are not in a position to, they got a lot of money tied up in the guys. Like, they're not in a position to just sit back. Like, again, it took everything they had to beat what we can agree, a bad Raptors team last night. And
it's playing three rookies.
Didn't have their starting point guard who they just cashed out.
Yep.
And they play the Nets tonight. Like, I think that's the trade to make. Holla at me, Calvin Booth.
All right, let's talk about the two rookies that are, we mentioned them earlier, that are playing rotation minutes on teams with championship aspirations. Dalton Knecht played 11 minutes, and then Ryan Dunn played 15 minutes, played some great defense. Ryan Dunn might be the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know it's early. Don't, send me a message saying, why are you guys talking about Rookie of the Year in the season's not a week old? But Ryan Dunn has an opportunity because he looks like he's going to play meaningful minutes. He's going to play for a team that's going to have TV appearances. And he looks like he's going to have an impactful role on the team on both ends of the floor.
Look, he's making contested threes, Ralph. These aren't just wide open, please shoot. Like, LeBron was contested. And I want to say this. I stayed up late to watch this game last night. I want to say they were putting other guys in pick and roll. I think it was Royce O'Neal to avoid the Ryan Dunn defense late in the game. Like, that says a lot about him.
He closed the game, yeah. Because I got in from the Mavs game to catch the last few minutes, and he was on the floor in crunch time. So it just shows you how wild this class is. We have the number 3 pick who's only playing 3 minutes. And then we have a second round pick.
The number 3 pick on a team that is likely not going to make the playoffs.
Don't say that in Houston. Don't say that in Houston. They believe. They believe. But yeah, I mean, that just shows you how wild this class is. All right. Want to talk about the Raptors rookies real quick. They're playing 3 rookies in their rotation. Jamal Shead played 18 minutes, had 8 points, was 4 of 8 from the floor, leading all rookies in assists. He's averaging a little under 5 a game, but had 5 assists. Mobo played 14 minutes. Jamison Battle, two people.
Man.
Somebody told me they had Jamison Battle number 4 on their big board. Shout out to you for the insight, being a genius. And then another person reached out to me, said that they had Jamison Battle in their lottery. I mean, bravo to you guys. You guys saw stuff that I didn't see. Apparently NBA teams didn't see. But Jamison Battle, if we had to do like a rookie rankings, would be a lottery pick.
Eventually we're going to do one.
Yeah. Shout out to the people that saw Jamison Battle being a successful early.
Jamal Shead, close my eyes, squint. He moves like Ty Lawson.
What?
Dude.
Ty
you
Lawson
talking about just like a quick little burst of speed?
But Ty
has that kind of speed.
I don't know.
He isn't as Ty Lawson was cold. He's not Ty Lawson good, but like he's got quick steps where he gets to the paint. He makes the defense collapse. It looks like Ty Lawson. Just that little bit. I'm not saying he's Ty Lawson, Ralph.
Okay, yeah, because Ty Lawson was very, very good.
Ty Lawson was cold, man.
Man, I just hate his fall from grace. All right, who is leading all rookies in scoring?
You see, Ralph think he gonna stump me, man, but I do my research, right? It's Bub Carrington.
Bub Carrington is currently leading all rookies in scoring at 8.7 points per game. Jamal Shead is second at 8.5. Eve Missy, 8.3. Jaylen Wells, 8.0. And Jamison Battle at 7.8. So there's only one rookie, and there's only one lottery pick averaging more than 7.8 points per game, and that's Bub Carrington. Alex Sarr is leading all rookies in rebounding at 6.7. I'll take that. One of the concerns
for sure.
He didn't rebound. Clingan is averaging 5.8, which I think Clingan would average 10 rebounds per game if he got more minutes.
Sure.
Missy at 5.3. Edey's averaging 5 rebounds per game. Jamal Shead leading all rookies in assists at 4.8, with Stephon Castle at 4.3 right behind him. And then blocks. There's some good rim protectors in this class. Missy 2.3 blocks per game. Clingan 2.0. Sarr 2.0. All right, rookie of the night. Tell me, what do you like about Bub Carrington's performance?
That performance against the Hawks on the second night of a back-to-back, that is why I was so high on Bub in the first place.
Dominique Wilkins was hating.
Dominique Wilkins doesn't like anybody who doesn't. I don't even think he likes the Hawks players. He just got to get that check. All right. Dominique Wilkins, Edey Johnson. What's my homegirl's name for the Kings? They like top 3 hater rankings.
The guy from the Celtics was the all-time.
Yeah. Heinsohn, yeah. He was generational. But no, my man Bub, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He made the 3-ball. Good 2-man action with Marvin Bagley. He had a big jumper in the pick and roll late in the game. Caught, I think it was Capella and drop coverage. That's what I'm talking about, Bub. Do I expect Bub to be this efficient? I mean, he was like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
He's obviously not going to be that efficient all season, but like the shots that he was taking, minus that one, Dominique might have been right because he did shoot a pull-up 3 with nobody underneath the basket. But like Bub is a jump shooting, playmaking point guard.
Were pull-up 3s. that one that Dominique caught him out on was definitely a heat check shot.
Hey man, I play for the Wizards, man. I got a heat check. This is his best game of his NBA career so far. Like I'm heat checking after I make the first one.
Here's a good stat.
I think he missed the first one.
Yeah, but here's a good stat about Bub. He is shooting 54% on catch and shoot jumpers. He's 5 of 14 at the rim. To me, he is D'Angelo Russell 2.0.
I think he's a little bit more athletic than D'Angelo Russell, but it's not like it's a huge difference because neither of them are really going to get to the rim. But I really do like Bub long term, though.
Yeah, I like him long term. I was talking to a scout at the Mavs game last night, and we were just talking about picks. And so he asked me what I thought about Bub, and I thought he made a good decision. I didn't see him going 14, but I know that he was very young for his class, and I think he would have been a top 10 pick. He looks like one of the few guys that, in my opinion, made the right choice. I think, and we'll end on this, I think once college basketball season starts next week, there are going to be several guys in this class that are going to be like, dang, I miss playing in college. I miss playing in front of 10,000 roaring fans, especially with NIL. Some guys are making more money in college than they are sitting the bench. And there's going to be a lot of guys in this class that are going to be on those bus rides in the G League coming up real soon. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Rookie Watch Volume 2. Once again, thank you for making the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast your first listen of the day. Now, your favorite team has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On newsletter that covers your favorite team. It is one stop for ultimate team and league coverage, and it is delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at lockedondaily.com. That's lockedondaily.com. And start your day with an all-new free Locked On newsletter covering your favorite team. Once again, it's Rafael and James Barlowe, and we are out. Stay tuned for the next episode with Leaf Tulane. We're going to talk a little bit of blue blood college basketball. We are out of here.